So in this project, I deployed a dynamic website on AWS from scratch, right? And it's a LAMP stack, Linux, Apache, MySQL database, and the programming language was PHP. So here was the architecture that I used, and this is the reference, for that. So I'm just going to go to the console. So I started by creating the VPC, right? Created the VPC, and let's look at the resource map. So I created the VPC and the subnets. So created 6 subnets, three in this availability zone and 3 in this other availability zone. And also I created a route table, right, to route traffic, right, and private route table to route traffic to the NAT gateway and the public route table to route traffic to the internet gateway, right? So yeah, so I also created the internet gateway and attached it to the VPC and the NAT gateway, right? I also created that, which will provide access for resources that are deployed in the private subnet, right? So if you look at it, the resources that are deployed in the private subnet, we have access to the internet through the NAT gateway. So yeah, so that's it. Then so I created this subnet, right? And so let me just show more details. If I click on this, you see these more details, right? The CIDR blocks of the subnet, and then the subnet that are associated to this route table. See, for this one, 4 subnets we are associated, and then for this one, 2 subnets we are associated, right? The public subnets we are associated to this route table. So after that, I created the security group. So let me just go to the security groups. I created these 5 security groups. These ones is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one is basically was attached to the EC2 instance. That's where the application was deployed. And then this one was for the EC2 instance, I think connects. Let me check that. The endpoints. So yeah, so the EC2 instance, yeah, EC2 instance connects endpoints, right? So this is the security group that was used for that, and this one is for the database. This is the security group that was attached to the database, and this was the security group that was attached to the application load balancer, and this one was the security group that was attached to the EC2 instance that was used for the migration of the data, right? And so yeah, so that's it. And after that, I created the IAM rules, the policy, right? So basically this policy, let me just click on it. So what this policy is doing is basically, if I click on this JSON, so it's going on, this policy is to get objects from the S3 bucket, and also to get secret values from Secret Manager and to describe those secret values. So, and I think, yeah, so then this policy was attached to an IAM role, right? So basically this role, look at this, the IAM role, and then this, the policy was attached to it. So this policy, the IAM role will be attached to the EC2 instance, right? The EC2 instance, so that the EC2 instance will be able to communicate with like the S3 bucket, and yeah. So after that, let me go to so then I also created the endpoint, right? The endpoint, and the goal of this endpoint, this EC2 instance connect endpoint, is so that to avoid having to create key pairs, because if I want to connect to my EC2 instance, normally I will have to create key pairs, right, to be able to SSH. But in this case, I can still SSH to this EC2 instance, but now within the VPC, right? So if you look at the security group, let me go to the security group for this one. We see that it does not have any inbound routes, right? It only has an outbound route. So it can initiate traffic to any resource within the VPC. right? SSH. Can I say SSH to any resource within the VPC? So basically this security group was attached to this endpoint. Yeah, so after that, and then I created the S3 bucket, right? So this is the S3 bucket and uploaded the application files, right? And then this is the SQL files, right? So I had to migrate this SQL file to migrate them using, I created an EC2 instance to migrate this SQL file to our database. So this is the database. Yeah, so this is the database, right? So I created this database, but before this, I created subnet group, right? Subnet group. And then when I was creating this database, I used the subnet group. I chose the subnet group. Where is it? Yeah, I think it's, so I choose the subnet group somewhere. So, is it configurations or subnet group? I think it's somewhere, I can't find it here now. But yeah, so I created the database and when I was creating the database, one thing that was very important was instead of having to choose my own password, right, I use so what I did was I chose Secret Manager to help to generate a password, right? A password to connect to the database. So if you look at I think configurations. So this is the name of the DB, and this is the name of the database itself. This is the name of the instance, right? This is the name of the database itself. Then if you look at here, you can see the password, right? The password it's going to be in Secret Manager. And this is the instance class. And yeah, so if I go to Secret Manager now, so let me go to Secret Manager. So if I come here, I open this in another tab, so we see this is it right here. This is the secret, right? This is the Secret Manager. And then if I click on retrieve secret value, you can see the username, which is admin, and then the password, right? Of course, I'm going to delete this after this. Once I'm done with all this, I'm going to delete everything. So you don't bother your password. And so if I come back to the database, you see the username is admin, right? If I come back to the database, you see that the master username here is also admin, right? But in the database here, you can't see the secret, right? Which is good security practice, right? So yeah. So after that, then I did the migration, basically using this script. Using this script, did the migration, right? Did the migration, you see, of the SQL file, right? This is my S3 and the URL, you know, the endpoint for the RDS database, the name of the database, the username, this FLYWAY. FLYWAY is basically used for migration, right? The secret name and then the region and all that. So yeah, so using this, then also once I was done with that, then I created the EC2 instance. The EC2 instance, let me go to the EC2. So I created the EC2 instance and then connected to the EC2 instance. So now you see I can connect. If I click on connect using a private IP, right? So that way I'm not SSHing, I'm not using KPA, right? So if I click on connect, I can connect to the EC2 instance, and then you see I'm able to connect without using a KPA, right, which is great. You know, so then I use this deployment script, for the use this script, right? So just used everything. I, this one did not work. So let me comment that out. This spots did not work. The domain name part is not, yeah. So I use this, yeah, just this, and then use this, yeah. So use this for the deployment, and after that, I was able to um, get the application to work. So yeah, so once if I do this now, we do this paste, see the application is running active, right? So we are using Apache web server, right? So after that, based on the architecture, you can't, users can access the application directly from the internet, right? So so what I did was I created a target group, right? So this is a target group on port 80, and then I attached that target group to a load balancer, right? Here is it. And using the DNS of the load balancer, we can access the application, right? So here is it. So here is it to access the application. And here is it. So here is it. It's not really clear, and I think yeah, but here is the application. So that's just it, basically. That's just it. It was an interesting project, and thanks to um, Aziz, yeah, thanks to Aziz for the application and the project. All right, it's amazing.